The rainbow of death. I'm ready as I'll
so
ever
what
be.
are we doing? We're counting down.
Like Wayne's World style. It's like
5, 4, 3.
You didn't say 2 or 1.
Oh, you don't say 2 or 1.
Why not?
You just don't. Now, it goes
5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the Alright Show.
So are we? Let's go. First try. One hit wonder. Are we live? Are we rolling?
We're live. I'm eating this cookie.
Wait, hold on. Wait, no, don't break it yet. Cheers. To good fortune.
Aw.
Here, a little ASMR. A little ASMR of me chewing. Just kidding. That would not be. Oh. Just kidding. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good point. I guess you guys can't hear our producer, Nick, right now, who has a microphone, but we don't hear him because for some reason the software we're using is not recording his voice. So we can hear him in our headphones, but his voice isn't going to be heard in the podcast yet because we're trying to build the suspense. Like, yes, good timing, dude. Because we're trying to make him like an enigma and a mystery, and
Yeah, like Dream.
like that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was building up to that, like Dream. Right. Well, you can go. Actually, you can say that because I'm chewing. You're chewing too. You can check Nick out on his own channel though, if you'd like. What is your nickstamper.com/YouTube. It'd be youtube.com/nickstamper actually. At Nick Stamper was taken. Just look up Nick Stamper, he says.
Moral of the story, just look up
You'll
Nick
figure it
Stamper.
out. Speaking of this conversation, mine says focus your attention. That's all it says, just 3 words. Focus your attention.
Mine's pretty good. It says, genius is nothing but a great aptitude for patience.
Ooh,
It's a good
that
one.
is a good one. Should we shut this door? Is that gonna make
No,
us?
so the cats can
Oh yeah,
come in and
yeah.
out.
We got a bunch of cats in here right now. I'm loving it actually. Get off my fortune, dude. This is DJ.
We have a lot of nicknames for her.
Yeah, we do. What?
Like Sister Philbin,
Mrs. Philbin,
Deegis Philbonius,
Durgis,
Deegis Jezebelius Philbonius,
Rat,
Fat Tail.
fucking Vulture, the Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
I've actually never called her that, but that is a new nickname that's really good for her because as soon as you get cheese out, as soon as you get some milk out,
Ice cream.
ice cream, any kind of dairy product.
She's horrible with ice
She
cream.
will be in your face.
Like literally, it's
all
the
over
most
you.
frustrating thing in the world when you have ice cream out
Oh yeah.
around her.
Do you think we should? We'll just get the thumbnail pictures at the end, I think. Or we could like just stop and do an awkward like pose to the camera right now if we'd like.
Maybe we'll get a good shot where, like all the cats are on the couch or something.
Yeah.
So I guess Deej is a podcat now.
Yeah. The Cat Cast.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Cat Cast. I'm your host, Kevin Hackett, the Cat Whisperer. Yeah, but welcome to the Alright Show. We're glad to have you guys back.
Mhm.
I know there's a lot of people watching right now, obviously, because
Speak it into existence.
we're fucking lit.
We're pretty cool.
Very nice. We have is that gonna pick up in the recording? So they can't hear that yet? Damn, so when he played the sample earlier, I was like, nice, good timing, and they're just not even gonna hear it. That's okay. We're
Should we
I just
introduce me this time?
Yes,
since
this is my
we didn't?
girlfriend, Morgan. Say hi, Morgan.
Hi.
Do you want to tell them about yourself?
Yeah.
'Kay.
My name is Morgan. Like Kevin said.
Nice. Good start.
Thank you. I don't know. I don't really know what about me.
I don't know.
there is
you
to
got
tell.
You got nothing to tell about yourself? Not
I
one thing.
really
Except for your name is
enjoy
Morgan.
reading a lot. I
Yeah.
read a lot of books.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, I wanted to mention. I'm glad you brought that up. Not to interrupt you, but you're reading The Hobbit right now.
I am.
What do you think?
It's pretty good so far. I'm honestly, the more I read it, the more I'm surprised that I never read it sooner.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of had like this like preconceived opinion about like The Hobbit as if it was like beneath you or something.
I didn't. It's you only know if you know, but growing up, if you were like an extreme fan of Harry Potter, it was like extreme Harry Potter fans and extreme Lord of the Rings fans.
Yeah, you think Harry Potter fans like shunned the Lord of the Rings, like they would like.
Well, I
kinda
think it went
shit-talk
both ways.
See, that's I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could. You're probably right, but I personally grew up first. I think the first books that I read were the Hobbit and the Trilogy of the Ring. Like first books I ever read before I even read like Dr. Seuss, Ugly Duckling. I was out there reading some next level shit.
Yeah.
But no, but they were like the first like big books that I read. I'm pretty sure my dad like put me onto those, and I fucking loved them. I was obsessed, and they're still to this day I say are like the best books I've ever read. I'm a huge fan. But
They were pretty good.
yeah, I mean they're like classics.
I thought that they would be longer.
Oh, they're pretty long. How long's The Hobbit? Like 800 pages?
No, The
300?
Hobbit's like 300 pages.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's still pretty long. What'd you say? No, it's not. Wrong. Well, she said yeah, so I was telling her. Are the samples recording yet? Because I was gonna say if. Oh. Damn. Well, I was gonna say we could play that "You Shall Not Pass" sample that we loaded. So, by the way, everybody watching, we got samples going, but I don't think they're recording yet. But we're pretty hyped. We're like slowly but surely. Can you switch to the wide shot? I just want to show what's going on with the cats here. You can't really see them because we're zoomed in a little too much, but like Gingy's trying to fish something out from under the bear rug. But like, yeah, we got a sample pad or whatever they're called, mostly set up now. We've loaded a little bank of samples to it. So I'm pretty excited to add that to the podcast. We got some fun ideas in the works. We were just working on an intro and outro, getting a little theme song and some animated stuff. So yeah, we're chipping away. It's going to be a slow process, but you got to start somewhere. And I think if we just, start where we're at without too much expectation and just build on it, it'll work out.
Well said, babe.
Thank you. But yeah, I always loved Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I read The Hobbit a while before, and the Trilogy of the Ring a while before Harry Potter came out, I guess. Or it wasn't probably that long before it, but it was, before that was out, I think. And when the Harry Potter came out, I was pretty hyped. I loved Harry Potter, and I read all 5 of them. I don't think I finished the 5th one actually.
There's more than 5.
I know, but I read all like before the 6th one came out. Like I read each of them, and then
There's 7.
yeah. But the movies came out, and then I was like, I don't need to read. Who needs to read when you can just watch a movie?
But the books are so much better. Like
They are
infinitely better.
I mean, I feel like that's just always going to be the case with anything that's taken from a book and turned into a movie. 9 times out of 10 or more, really.
Yeah, but like the movies are so good. Don't you wish that there was like more? Don't you want more? Because you can find more in the books.
Yeah, I do. But I've already seen the movies like so many times that I feel like, I don't know. It would be nice to read the books just to have read all of them, because I did really like them a lot. What is that? My cat is going crazy in here. I wish you could see her on camera. She's a little too close to the camera. Oh, now you can see her if you go to the wide shot. I don't know. I know you're like multitasking right now, so sorry. But yeah, we're trying to get Nick's voice to show up on the recording. There he was. The man, the myth, the legend. Oh, you didn't pop up there? Damn. Psych. So we're trying to get Nick's voice to work. Did that one actually show up? All right.
Also, that's Ginger. We haven't introduced that cat yet.
Yeah, there's Ginger. Thank you. Also known as Gingy. Orange cat bad. Sometimes orange cat good, depending on the day. Orange cat is pretty crazy. Yeah. Orange cat is a viral TikTok star, actually. I was getting cash offers talking about putting her on Ellen and The Tonight Show and Jimmy Kimmel and all this America's Funniest Home Videos and shit. Like, I was legitimately getting people reaching out, like, accounts on Instagram with millions of followers. One of them was just called Bitch was the name of the account, which I'd never heard of before, but no, I think it was just BITCH, I think. Yeah, it might have, I think it was just like with an I, but they had like, I think at least 1 million followers, if not a couple, but I know, me too. By the way, sorry, I'm like talking to Nick, but you guys can't hear him, so like it's gonna not play as well.
Like you're crazy.
Yeah, so I just wanted to preface this by saying, like, I'm talking to Nick throughout this podcast, so I apologize in advance that you can't hear the other side of the conversation. We're working on it. Podcasting's a lot harder than I expected, actually. I mean, I went to film school. I know how to do camera stuff. I do this. This is what Nick does too. He's good at it. Thank you. He said I'm better. But you know, I also have a degree in it, and I'm a little older as well, so I've had more time to get experience. But anyway, yeah, I mean, we've come a long way though. I'm really, really proud with what we've accomplished so far and like how far we've gotten it. I'm really excited to see where this goes, and yeah, it's pretty exciting to actually like get started. And in a way, like I feel like the fact that there is a lot of room for improvement is actually something that like motivates me to do more, because I want to improve and grow and like polish up the edges and like get it to be a more well-oiled, fine-tuned machine. So we're working on it. We got ideas for some different segments, like I know I already talked about it in one of the previous episodes, but like a Beavis and Butthead style thing. Maybe do some like TED Talk style stuff. We got some ideas.
Gingy is losing her mind over here. I'm afraid she's gonna knock something over.
So Morgan.
Yes.
You saved a life recently.
I told you I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, I'll talk about it.
It's somebody's personal business.
They're not gonna watch.
You don't know that?
We don't have to specify who it is.
Okay.
Morgan was at a place, at a point in time, around a particular person who shall not be named, much like Voldemort. And it was actually Voldemort, yeah. But yeah, so the person who shall not be named suffered a heart attack, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you know, not all heroes wear capes, Morgan.
Yeah, some of them wear scrubs.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Were you wearing a scrub at the time?
I was.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're would you call yourself a nurse?
No. I mean, I didn't go to nursing school. I'm a surgical assistant and a certified medical assistant. Okay. But I have my surgical first assist.
Yeah, so Morgan happened to be near this person and saw what was happening and had to do some Pulp Fiction shit and stab them in the heart with a freaking needle.
No, it wasn't a straw.
Break the chest cavity. Look up that scene from Pulp Fiction if you would, and we'll display it on the screen with Uma Thurman where she's like overdosing on cocaine, I think. that's exactly what it was like.
That's not exactly what it was like at all, by any means.
It's basically
There's no
like
need to use that much force.
an exact reiteration. Is this audio like picking up on this right now? I'm just wondering. It's okay if it is. We're gonna pause the recording and cut back, and I don't know if that'll be included in the edit, but hey, we're back. Okay. So we're having a little bit of technical difficulties at the moment. We'll get there. Trying to learn how to get Nick's audio to come through. Trying to learn how to get the samples to come through. Yeah, I'm completely new to this system called OBS that we're using, which is like a live streaming and broadcasting software. And Nick has done stuff with OBS before, but he's also still learning it. Even though he's familiar with it, there's still, we're trying new things that he hasn't done yet. So, and he's also working on a Mac, and he's more familiar with PC, and is saying that the stuff we're trying to do, it's like more straightforward, and he understands it better through the PC. So speaking of that, we actually are planning on changing computers soon. I'm going to be getting this computer we built for my dad a long time ago for virtual reality. We're going to be moving that over to my house. So that'll probably be our new podcast, or just general computer in general. Yeah, little workstation, gaming, VR, podcasting, editing tennis videos, business stuff.
I really hope they make Hogwarts Legacy into VR. That'd be awesome.
That would be really cool. And I hope that they make it like add-on packages to make it more like Grand Theft Auto or something like that.
Yeah, I had this really cool idea.
Not like make it like Grand Theft Auto in the sense of like you're driving cars and shooting people, and like I think that's why you're laughing, Nick. That's not what I meant. Sorry. Morgan was trying to say something.
It's okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just you. Go ahead. I apologize. Will you ever forgive me?
I had this really cool idea for Hogwarts Legacy, where it would be like you grow with your character, or like your character grows with you. So they go all the way through Hogwarts, and then they get a job at the Ministry of Magic, and they have a family and kids, and their kids go to Hogwarts. And
I personally feel like that will never happen because other games don't even do that, you know?
Yeah, but like in the future.
I mean,
technology.
I used to say that like when I was newer to gaming, you know. I'm just kidding, but like I actually did though. Like I'm trying to sound douchey on purpose, but like I legit like I remember when I thought like that when I was but seriously though, I used to say like I've said that in the past, like it would be so cool if there was a game that like, you know, aged over time, like your character ages, and you like it would basically be like real life, like Ready Player One kind of or something. Yeah. That would be awesome though. I would enjoy that for sure. I think that'd be cool in a lot of different games like Skyrim or I don't know.
I just feel like I missed my chance to go to Hogwarts so I could like live through my character.
Exactly. Can you pull? Is her audio good? Like, is her voice loud enough, or do we need to like bring it closer to her? Seems a little low. Yeah. Should I do that? Yeah, mine's like right in my face. Sniff it. Yeah, that smells really good.
You're always sniffing weird things. You do a lot of questionable sniffing.
Yeah. Like what?
You're always sniffing shit in the refrigerator to see if it's good, or like you'll pull out a super sweaty towel or something and
yeah, the other day
inhale.
I played the Cincinnati Met. It's like the biggest amateur tennis tournament in Cincinnati for sure. It used to be the biggest amateur tennis tournament in Ohio. I think it still might be, but I'm not totally sure. But there were like 64 people in the singles men's open singles draw. But I was told there used to be like 240 people that would sign up, and the winner would get like a wild card in the Western and Southern, which is like one of 3 Grand Slam tournaments in the world. So it used to be like a huge thing. But anyway, I had a match in the back draw after losing my first match with flying colors to a former D1 player. So I'm not gonna. I don't.
Really
no, I'm
good.
proud of myself. Honestly, I don't. I'm just teasing myself, I guess. But I'm happy with how I played, even though on paper it looks like I got my ass beat, and I guess I kind of did. But like, I've only been playing again for like 2 years, and I only played as a kid and then quit for like 15 years. So
Yeah, don't let him fool you. He's pretty good.
I'm okay.
He's
I'm okay for the level I play at. I'd say I'm good for my level, but there's levels to it. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I had like a couple serves he couldn't return. I had some really good passing shots. I had some really good rallies. Like, it was a really fun match. I really enjoyed it a lot. But I lost that match, and then I got in the back draw. And long story short, I was playing in the back draw, and like shortly into our match, I have like a big like bath towel size towel, and then like a hand towel to like wipe my face and sweat and stuff like that. And are we switching camera angles, or are we just staying on this one camera angle? Okay, I just feel like we've just been on one camera angle like this whole time. But I had like the small hand towel, which I thought we had just washed recently, and so I figured it was fresh and clean. But I don't know where to look.
Just look at me. You look fine if you look at me.
Okay, thanks. But yeah, I took the hand towel and I was like wiping my face with it and stuff, and I could have sworn it smelled like cat pee, and I was like, I'm not gonna say anything to my opponent about this.
Because why would you? That would be like, man, my towel really smells like cat
cat
pee. Like,
After I wiped my face with it. Yeah, and I like smelled it closely a few times, like kind of incognito, like without him noticing, because I figured he'd be like, what the fuck. But yeah, I smelled it enough times and tried to use it for like the very beginning of the match, and I was like, this smells weird. I'm pretty sure this smells like cat pee. I was like, I don't know how. It looked fine from what I could tell. And then I told Morgan about it, and then like,
you made me smell it.
well, later on, like I had it out and I was like smelling it again, and I was just like putting it like in my face, like like just like huffing it basically, and like licked it at one point, put it in my. I was just messing around though, because it didn't actually smell, and I knew I'd already told her that it smelled like cat pee, so I thought it'd be funny if I just pretended like it still smelled.
But it was
I was
still
like,
gross.
can you smell this? I swear it smells like cat pee, and I'd be like, I know it's like not something to brag about. It's actually kind of disgusting and makes me look like a fucking weirdo, but that's all right. I'm willing to take one for the team.
It was still gross because you had used it to wipe your sweaty face.
I
But
guess. Not that. It's my sweat, so who cares? It's not like I was.
yeah.
It was
but
worth
anyways,
it. It was worth it for the joke.
It
for me.
didn't smell like cat pee, so
Yeah, but I was playing it off really well. It's like putting it like
yeah, it's true.
like acting like I was enjoying smelling it, but then be like, oh, it really smells like cat pee afterward. Like, I don't know. It was just funny. You had to be
really-
there. You really had to be there.
You really play into roles very well.
Thank you.
He has gotten me so many times with the stupidest trick where you like pretend somebody has something on their shirt, boop their nose when you go back up.
I know I have gotten you so many times, more than I've ever gotten anyone in their life.
It's
or in my
honestly
life.
ridiculous.
But I also feel like you're just like really susceptible to that trick.
You always play it off so well though, like genuine interest and concern in what's on my shirt.
What can I say? I'm somewhat of a method actor.
Like you look me dead in the eyes, so concerned, like, what's on your shirt? What is that?
I have to sell it. You have to really like play the part.
Yeah, and I
Believe in the
buy
character.
it every damn time. It's embarrassing.
Speaking of near-death experiences, I know we were talking about that a little while ago, but like recently enough. Was that a good segue or was that a little late? Thank you.
A little late.
Nick said that was good for those of you watching who can't hear him. But I almost died on Monday, I guess you could say. I had a guitar lesson this morning, and I was telling my guitar teacher about how Monday evening we were clearing out space by my shop because we already got a trench dug, but we were getting ready to have a trench dug from a telephone pole in the front of my yard all the way through my driveway to the back of my property where my shop is. It's a custom printing shop called Get Custom Apparel, which,
Go
by the
get it.
way, if you need any custom apparel, go get some. I'll put our Instagram in the bio if you want to reach out to have any custom apparel printed. We're still working on the website. It's been 8 years in the making. Seriously, though, I've been in business for like 8 years and still don't have a website up. It's kind of sad, but I don't need it because I've been doing just fine without it. But anyway, we were moving the wood and stuff out of the way, and long story short, I was rolling like a pre-cut like stump from a trunk of a tree. I was rolling it out and felt something like bite my hand. It felt like, and I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? Look at my hand. There's a little bite mark, and I thought it was probably just like a little spider or something, and kind of proceeded to continue cleaning or moving the wood, and then I felt another sting, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm getting stung again. Maybe there's like a spider in my shirt or something. I started kind of freaking out, and then I realized I was getting swarmed by yellow jacket wasps, which are like, from what people have told me, like super aggressive, one of the most aggressive to deal with, and there was probably like 30 of them attacking me. I may be exaggerating a little bit, but there was a lot. And I ran down the driveway. My friend Wade was with me, and he got stung once as well, but he didn't even realize like what was happening, and he just thought it was funny, and that's when he got stung, was when he started to laugh at me. So it's karma. But that's what he told me. But yeah, I was freaking out. I ran all the way down the driveway. I looked like I was on meth or something. Like I was panicking, flailing my arms, like yelling in pain and just freaking out. And I ran all the way to the front of my property, and there's like a busy street in front of where I live, and a car drove by, and I like looked up, kind of like, it's just wasps. And they're probably just like, what is happening to this person in this front yard? But I looked down, and I had like, I don't know how many wasps on me. It was probably, from what I saw just at a glance, like, I don't know, at least 5, maybe 7. There's probably more on my back or, my hair. I didn't really know, and I didn't want to like wait to find out. And I had some shorts on, and there was a handful or 2 on there, and there was probably at least 3 on my shoe, maybe 1 on my other shoe. They were everywhere. And so I continued to freak out again after I assessed what was going on. And, I took my shirt off and ran down the street some more. And like, there was a guy just like walking his dog on the sidewalk, just standing there, like, just looking at me like, what's happening? And I just was like, I'm getting attacked by wasps. Like, it's all good. I'm not on drugs. And he's just like, oh, that sucks, don't it? Or something like that. I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
it's not fun. But yeah, by the end of the encounter, I counted later on how many stings I had, and I'm pretty sure I had like 13. So like, I'd say 10 to 13 stings. And I had a guitar lesson this morning, and my guitar teacher told me that when he was growing up, there was a guy, on his street who was mowing his lawn, and these wasps like to nest in the ground. So sometimes it's not even like a nest on the outside where you can actually see it, or like a hive that you can easily locate. Sometimes like you can just be mowing the lawn and you go over a nest and they come out of the ground and attack you. And that's what happened to him. And he said his neighbor or whatever, this guy lived close by, got stung like 20 times, I think. And he said he ended up dying from that.
Yeah, some people are seriously allergic.
He said he was only mildly allergic too. Like he wasn't even.
If you get
that
stung
allergic.
enough times, your body's gonna go into shock. Your throat will start to swell up.
My hand was shaking. Like I was literally like shooken up from from the attack. It was pretty intense. It was a first for me. And it wasn't fun. But
I was not home when this happened. I was at the grocery store.
yeah, thank God I'm not allergic, because Wade got stung once, and his like looked like a rash.
Yeah, he looked way more allergic. When I
Yeah.
got home, his face was like swollen
little
up
bit, yeah.
and red. Yeah.
And I got stung, I think, like 13 times, at least 10 times for sure. And one was on my head too. I had one on my side back here, I think one or two on my head, because there was one that got in my hair and like down to my scalp. And like I could feel them on my hair and stuff too. So I'm like, oh, that's not good. I have long hair right now. They're going to get in there like a nest, and they're going to be like impossible to get out. That freaked me out the most, probably, feeling them crawling in my hair.
Yeah.
Because it's like trying to get them out of the hair was tough. And like I also was afraid it was going to sting my hand. So I'm like, what do I just hit my own head? Or like, what do I do? And yeah, like, you know, I dug the one out, but I was kind of trying to make sure it wouldn't bite me, because I didn't know if it's still alive or not. So I like kind of got it out, but I like didn't want to mess with it for too long. And then eventually, like, I pulled it out a decent amount, but it was kind of like tangled in my hair. And Wade was like, you got one in your hair? Like, and he got it out. And he like held it in his hand, and he's like, dude, you decapitated it. And he's like, it's just like a clean cut. Like, it was just, its head was just like missing. So don't frick with me, wasps, because I'm a straight up savage, dude. But
yeah, thank God you weren't allergic.
yeah,
'cause
I
could
would
have been
legit
really
have
bad.
probably gone to the ER
Yeah.
if I was.
You freaked me out when you called, because you're not very good at like delivering scary news. So when I answer the phone and you're like all out of breath, I'm like, are you still at the grocery store? I'm like, yeah. Why? It's crazy. I just got stung by a bunch of wasps.
It was crazy. I was out of breath. It literally just happened. Like, it had just settled down, and I was just like collecting my thoughts on like what had happened. And I was like, I just got stung so many times. I wasn't even sure how many times I got stung or if they were like all done, but I was like pretty settled down. I was still shaken up about it. Like, I literally had like an adrenaline rush from that. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I was very freaked out and panicked. But then there was also like a very small part of me that was like, are you just messing with me or joking around?
Yeah, that's like what happens to the boy who cried wolf. When you actually need help, you fucked.
One time there was this possum in our front yard, and it was like the middle of the day. It was clearly hurt and not doing well. Like, crawled into our flower beds to lay down.
Yeah, that was
and
sad.
die, basically. But Kevin called his mom, and she was on speakerphone. And when she answered the phone, he was like, Mom, I think I got bit by a possum or something like that. He was like, I was trying to pet it, and just like without skipping a beat, she was just immediately like, God damn it, Kevin, why do you always do shit
Stupid
like
shit
this?
like that, yeah. I don't, though. I just
so
like,
funny.
I've done enough stupid shit to where I can sell it well.
Just immediately, like, she didn't even question.
She just was like,
why.
oh no, he's got rabies. Because I told her, I was like, I
Yeah.
think it has rabies. And
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just walking around in the middle of the yard, and I think it might be sick, but I tried to pet it. She's just so, like, over his bullshit.
yeah, but it was worth it. Sorry, Mom. I love you.
That's pretty funny.
But, yeah, so that happened. And, like, you know, I had the log, like, rolled off a little bit, but it was still pretty close to my shop. It's like a big pole barn, basically. And on the side of my shop, there was, like, all this wood from having some guys come out to, like, cut off branches from a tree that was kind of overhanging the shop that I was a little worried about might fall in a storm and damage the shop. I love that DJ's hanging out
I
here.
know.
So cute.
How cute is she?
But, like, we had them cut some tree branches down, and they were supposed to come back with a trailer like right after, but they never did. And so that was part of it. But if you ever watch this, I'm not trying to hate on you leaving that stuff there. I had like a ton of wood that I had left there myself, like pallets from when Racoma, this embroidery company, did like a YouTube partnership with me and sent me an embroidery machine in like a big skid or pallet or whatever. And then I picked up a bunch of tree stumps from this guy that I was just driving by on the road, and he was getting rid of a bunch of tree stumps. And I was like,
why
hey,
he
man,
does
like,
this,
can
I
I
don't
have those
know.
tree stumps?
Like, why?
Because I thought they'd be good firewood, and I also thought that they'd be fun to cut and, like, chop up. And I also thought that it would be potentially good seats, like to put around the fire, little tree stump seats.
Well,
But I left them on the side of the shop for way too long, and they got all like rotted out, and then wasps made a nest out of them. So it was really my fault because the only wasp nest that we found was in that one tree stump.
well, I think the lesson to be learned here is if you see somebody with a bunch of tree stumps, just leave them be.
No, I think a better lesson would be if you're gonna like save wood, store it properly,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, don't let stuff sit around so long, like cut it up and use it for firewood already. Like I left it sit there for like probably a year or two, like it was there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean you can take wood and use it.
We did take wood from the campground the last time we went camping.
Yeah, we got a stack of wood in the front.
Should we
right
talk
now.
about what we did the last time we went camping?
We also have a huge stack of wood in the backyard right now too. It's like the backyard driveway looks like so chaotic. Yes, we should. No, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll save it. I don't know. If we ever get people asking in the comments, maybe we can build up the suspense for it, and I'll tell them our dirty little secret.
Yeah, we did something the last time we went camping.
So terrible, it can't even speak it. I'll tell you, it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, we'll tell you.
It's not actually that bad, but it's. Yeah, Nick's asking because you guys can't hear him, so I'm gonna just speak for him. But he's asking what could it possibly be? We have to tell him after the podcast.
It was my birthday weekend, so.
Yeah, we went camping up at Red River Gorge. It's a beautiful nature preserve, state park. And some shit went down.
Yeah, some shit went down. Yeah.
It wasn't that big of a deal. But the way I feel like the way we're talking about it makes it sound like way
Building
bigger.
up the suspense.
But that's what we have to do. That's like the Jake Paul method.
Mm-hmm.
The Logan Paul school of influencership.
Well, the suspense is real on this one because it was a very interesting birthday weekend.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yes. We slept very little.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of peace to be had near our site.
No.
Thanks to other campers.
We also didn't get to the campground, which is, if you're not familiar with the area, the campground's like in the middle of literally nowhere. It's like just to get to the campground is like 40 minutes of driving just up a mountain on this super windy, bendy road.
Yeah, and like you drive through like some really rural areas, which I enjoy driving through, but there's some like houses and properties that you drive by that are just so like I don't know.
My point in saying that is we didn't leave until late, and by the time we got there, we realized that we forgot the tent poles. Well, we realized that I, who packed everything and asked Kevin to confirm that I had packed everything, forgot the tent poles.
Yeah, no, that was not all your fault, for sure.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, she was like packing stuff, and she asked me to like, if we had what we needed, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, looks like it. But I don't know, whatever. We don't need to bicker about this. But I just like, we got there, we were setting up. We were there in enough time. Like last time we went camping, we got there and it was dark out, so we had to set up in the dark. And we're like, okay, we're gonna leave earlier this time, so we got daylight to set up the tent. We got there with like an hour of daylight left maybe, and we started setting up, and it was a long drive too. Like I was pretty worn out just from working that week and stuff. And it was a long week. And then we got there after like a 4-hour drive, I think it is, right?
Yeah.
And like,
no, it's a 2-hour drive.
Is it just 2?
4 hours to Lakeside.
Yeah, so 2-hour drive, but still, I think it's longer than 2 hours. Whatever, it's a long drive.
Like 2 and some change,
and
maybe.
We got out and we were setting up and everything and unloading the car, and then like Morgan was like asking where the tent poles were. One of us realized it, and I was just like, oh my god, like I was just so like about to just drive home and be like upset because I was just so tired. But Morgan got on her phone and found a nearby Walmart, and it was another like 45-minute drive to get there and 45 back, so another like hour and a half of driving. But we still managed to have, some good times on that weekend. It wasn't all bad. I know we're talking about it like only the bad stuff right now, but we went kayaking. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, we go kayaking I say every time we've been there, but we've gone twice, and we've gone kayaking at the same.
We didn't we camp there 3 times?
Yeah, but the first
We've
time.
gone kayaking twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first time we went camping was actually very shortly after we met, and
because we were gonna go camping at Bonnaroo.
yeah.
And it got flooded that year. The whole Bonnaroo event got canceled, which was also a year that I printed for Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah. Morgan helped me out. We were gonna go on this trip to Bonnaroo, and we met, and I explained that I was working on a big order for Megan Thee Stallion for her show at Bonnaroo that I just got randomly asked to do like the week of. Like, I think it was like a Friday or Thursday when they emailed me to place the order, and they're like, we need this shipped by Monday or something like that.
Yeah, we were supposed to leave on a Wednesday.
And I was like, oh shit, all right. I can't say no to that. Like,
yeah.
I've never printed for a name like that before. I remember it well, like opening my email, and I think the headline for the email, the subject was just like printing t-shirts for Megan Thee Stallion. And I was like, this is not real. Like, I did not believe it. And I clicked on it, and it was legitimate, and I was like, holy shit. And I had to make it happen at all costs.
Well, I knew that we had never met before. Obviously, we're going with a mutual friend, and
Shout out Zach.
yeah,
if you're
thanks,
watching.
Zach.
Thanks for connecting the two of us.
Yeah,
Hope you're doing well. It's been a while.
has been a while. And I knew that I was supposed to drive with you, but I'd never met you before, and I knew that we couldn't leave until you finished this order.
Yeah.
And you had asked for help, so.
Yeah, we all like met just so that we could get like introduced, and I was explaining that I was working on that order, and they had offered to help, and I was like, I may take you up on it. We'll see like how it's going. And then Morgan ended up coming over to help, and we spent a bunch of time working on that order. We just put some hours in, for sure.
Some serious hours in.
There was a lot of time just, spent in the shop working, also watching the Jake Paul fight. It was that weekend. He was fighting Tyron Woodley. I was pretty hyped.
This was before I was into fighting.
Yeah, I've made a fight fan of you.
Yeah, you really have. But I do remember helping you try to get the fight, and then
Yeah.
at one point,
I just took a break and came in here
yeah,
to watch
we
it
like
'cause
came
it
in
was,
here to
like,
watch
not
the
happening.
fight.
Yeah, I was like, I can't. Like, the service was like so spotty, so I'd like kind of was able to watch it, but then it just was like, all right, we need to like just go inside and take a break, and I want to, because I'd been working for hours. We had been working for hours for a while at that point, anyway. So like, yeah, I was like ready for a break, but it was like one of those things where it's like, yeah, we can stop, watch the fight, and then like I gotta get back to work. Cause
Yeah, and
it's
it
like
was
just
like
so much time put in on that order.
midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, I was putting in some serious hours on that order.
I
Like
think that whole
12-hour
weekend.
days at least.
Yeah, that whole weekend, I was here working with you until like
Majority of it, for sure.
2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't coming over super early every day.
No, I was
But-
coming over like
Yeah,
in the afternoon,
I think.
evening.
Yeah.
And then I'd be
But-
here till like 2
And I
a.m.
left at one point to go to Nick Bechet's birthday / pool party at his dad's. But I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna go for like an hour because I don't want to miss that. But I was like, I can't really like hang out because I have like this huge order for a big important client, Meg. Shout out Meg. I need to stop doing that. We've been doing that from watching Blast from the Past.
So good.
Which,
Such
if
a good
anyone's looking
movie.
for a movie recommendation, what?
Oh yeah.
Can you go to the middle one? I feel like I have to look this way now. Sorry, I know I'm picky about my camera angles. We'll figure things out eventually.
And then I think it was like, wasn't it the morning that we were supposed to leave for Bonnaroo? It got canceled.
I know they were talking
Was it the
about
day
it
of?
was like potentially going to be canceled leading up to it. I think they waited as long as possible to cancel it because didn't want to cancel it, obviously, because there's so much money tied up in that and like scheduling and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was actually kind of like grateful that it got canceled because I was so worn out from that order, and like, I don't know, I was just kind of zoned out about like going on the trip and being around a bunch of fucking drugs and not sleeping well and like loud music throughout the night all day every day.
It was hot
like,
as fuck too.
yeah, I mean, I wanted to go and I was looking forward to it in a lot of ways, but at the same time I was kind of like, I hope this goes well.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of like nervous that it was gonna not be a great trip, and you know, as much as I wanted it to be, and it very well could have been an awesome experience, but I was also just like, I don't know.
But yeah, then you finished the order and you asked me to hang out the next weekend with you.
Yeah.
And I did.
And since we didn't go camping, to bring it full circle, because this is why we started talking about it, since we didn't go camping at Bonnaroo, like after we had started hanging out after that a little bit, we were like, we should go camping since we were going to go camping to begin with, and we never did. And so we went camping at the Gorge. And she was a little worried that I was a serial killer because she didn't really know me.
It was like right when Gabby Petito had gone missing too.
Is that how you say her last name?
I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And
And they were like van life people, and her fiance or whatever was like a nature guy that like
and
escaped into the wilderness. Gabby Petito, I think. Rest in peace. Actually, it's a really sad story.
It's a super sad story, but it was right when all of that was happening, and at the time I was living with my friends. I had 3 roommates, and they were all like, "You're going camping with this guy that you like hardly even know," and it's not just like camping at a local campground. It's like we were going pretty
Big
far
state
away
park.
into a
People
state park.
die there like every year.
And they were like, I don't
And-
know, like, you
You can change it
probably
whenever, Nick.
shouldn't do that. And I was like, no, I think I'm going to. I don't know. I really
I feel like
him.
he's okay.
Yeah,
I
I was like,
trust
I
him.
think he's okay.
I don't give
really
serial
like
killer vibes, do
him."
I?
No.
Hopefully
That's
not.
what I kept telling everybody. I was like, he doesn't give killer vibes.
Hey, you never know though. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good point, Nick.
That's
Nick
what they
mentioned
all
that.
kept telling me.
Yeah,
They were like,
it
that's
is-
what everybody
I mean, it
says
is true.
at first.
Like I've watched enough like crime YouTube videos and shit like that. It's like sometimes I think you can get an idea. There's definitely some people who give off that vibe.
yeah,
But I think there's
for
also
sure.
people who give off that vibe that aren't that at all.
Like Brian Koberger totally gives off
Seems like a serial killer,
vibes.
for sure.
Like,
But
no
but if
doubt
I
about it.
yeah, I guess. But I mean, not even actually. When I think
He's
there's
got
been
dead eyes.
well, it's because of all the stuff that we hear about him. Though. I
No,
feel like
in
if you
every
just saw that
photo.
dude like randomly and you had no backstory, you wouldn't look at that guy and be like, oh, he's a serial killer.
I would definitely look at him and be like, ick.
Yeah, he looks fucking creepy to me too, but I think it also is like because of the context of what
Yeah.
the story
that's
is that
probably
you're
true.
like subconsciously aware of when you look at him.
Well,
or
either
consciously.
way, Molly, my roommate Molly, made me share her location with her. So did like a bunch of other people, and I got
Nice.
like an air tag that I put in my bag, which was always sending my location.
Sick. Good thing I
But-
knew that all along.
Yeah, he
Just
also
chuck your
kept
bag into
making
the
a lot
woods
of
or
like
something.
axe jokes.
They'll never find her.
about like how he was gonna bring this.
Yeah, I was starting to
axe.
make murder jokes just to play into
Yeah.
it.
But anyways, it worked out really well for us. And
Is that on the screen right now? That's okay. I was gonna say it's probably not good to talk about murder jokes while we're like fucking showing this stuff. Yeah, you don't need to bring that up. Honestly, it's a pretty sad story. Yeah, I mean it is relevant to what we were talking about, but I'm not trying to like make jokes about that. It's not funny. But
it worked out well for us, and here we
Yeah.
are today.
yeah, we're together almost. Well, not quite 2 years later, but we're like a year and a half to 2 years
Getting
into our
there.
relationship, and it's been going well.
We live together. We have 3 beautiful cats.
Yeah, 3 beautiful fur children
Yeah.
that we cherish.
Yeah, like this one. She's so cute. Anytime we're on the couch or like laying down, DJ's always the cat that's with us.
Yeah, DJ is. Can you switch to the better angle of Deej? DJ is. Either of those two are good. The one over there is nice because it's like. I mean, they're both nice.
Her sweet face.
Yeah. But yeah, she's such a little like she's so weird because she's very like standoffish and like antisocial. Like if you go to pet her, a lot of times this is what happens. Like if this is the hand of the person petting her, or here, I'll do it with you. Can you switch to the middle shot? All right, so you're DJ.
Okay.
And I'm me.
Okay.
Like, oh, hey, Deej. Hi, Deej. Hey. That's what she does. Unless she's like relaxed and like isn't going anywhere. But if she's just like alert, she's so weird about being pet. Sometimes she's cool about it, but more often than not, she's like, don't touch me.
Even when she's relaxed, sometimes if you touch her, she will get up and move to the other side of the couch.
But right now, she's cute at AF. She'll let you pet her now. You can pet her.
Yeah, she'll get really sleepy too and let you like pick her paw up and it'll just like dead flop down.
Yeah. Sometimes she's so cuddly and like loves being pet. I don't know why she's so like, I mean, I guess that's just cats in general.
She likes
probably,
to be near but not touched.
Yeah, like if we're on the couch almost all the time, she'll like hop up on the couch and lay on like the top part up here. When she was a baby, I got her after my shoulder surgery. Check it out. Can you show that on a better angle? Is there a way to? Is that the angle? So I don't know how well you can see that on camera, but I had that's probably the best one. So like, I have a scar right here, which actually is healed so well, but it is from a snowboarding accident I had in Colorado. I'm not very experienced as a snowboarder, just to set the record straight before anyone gets any ideas. Okay. But I had a really, really bad fall in Colorado and literally crushed my shoulder to the point where, I mean, I did like 2 flips going down this mountain, like going down a section that had a sign in front of it that said danger with like a fucking X through it, you know, or something like that. And I like just sent it. And I'd already gone down it a couple times actually, like without getting hurt. And then I think because of that, I was like feeling overly confident. And so I went down it the 3rd time a little bit faster. I didn't even go down it like that much faster, but it was significantly enough. And it was also like such a windy day that day. Like they closed down like a ton of different peaks on the mountain, and like just a lot of parts of the mountain were closed because the wind was so bad, and it was really, really icy. And that particular part of the slope that I was going down was like just ice. Like there was like no powder on it. It was really hard to slow down and like do anything. And I think if I remember correctly, I think I partially don't remember it because I probably had a concussion when it happened. But like I think there was somebody who was like, or a couple people that went down that I kind of like was trying to like not run into or avoid or something. And I just kind of like lost my balance and my focus. And I fucked around and found out, I guess, ultimately. And like I cut wrong or whatever. And my board, like, you know, snagged the ice and just sent me flipping. And I flipped. And I think I honestly don't even remember. I think I hit my head first, but I might have hit my shoulder first. I probably hit my shoulder first. But I fucking like snagged, flipped, came right down on my shoulder. Like all my body weight plus all the momentum of like how fast I was going and stuff, and just crushed my shoulder, and then flipped again off of that and hit my head, and it was just like white all of a sudden for a second. And I eventually like slowed to a stop, and it was, I mean, I could go in more detail about it, and I probably will at some point, but I like stood up and I felt like I was going to throw up, and like ski patrol had to like fucking bring me down the mountain in like a stretcher with like ATVs or whatever, those snowmobiles, I guess. I just got so sidetracked. Why did I bring that up? What were we talking about?
DJ and how cuddly she is.
Oh yeah, I got her. So I got really injured, and now I'm giving you like my sob story, I guess. But like I had to stay in Colorado for a couple of days because I was on like a college ski trip with a bunch of people, and my shoulder was completely dislocated. Like there's 6 levels of an AC joint separation, which is what I had. And after level 3, you have to get surgery. Like you can't not get surgery if you want to use your arm again, and or at least like have full mobility, I guess. But mine was a level 4, so like at level 4 the clavicle is piercing the muscle but not completely through it. Level 5 it's completely through the muscle, and level 6 it's completely like sticking out of your skin. And I had level 4. I separated all 3 of the ligaments that hold down your clavicle, which is like your AC, CA, and then some other one. But so you know, like I was just miserable in Colorado, like couldn't do anything. Had been having a good trip up until that point, but I got home. I had to like tough it out in Colorado with a dislocated shoulder for like 2 days or however long. Take a fucking hours long bus ride back to the airport at like 6 a.m. or whenever that was in the morning on the day that we left. Also, thank you to Oliver Lester. If you ever see this, I don't know that you will, but thank you for carrying my snowboard bag. That was really helpful, and I appreciate that. And you got me PF Chang's at the airport for free, so that was nice too. And Zach too also like helped carry some stuff. So I thank you to both of you guys. But what, Nick? What finger thing? Oh, thanks. And then you know, like I got back to Cincinnati and I had to wait 2 weeks before I could even get surgery. So I literally had like 2.5 weeks of my shoulder being dislocated, sticking into my muscle. So try to sleep with that. Yeah. That sucks. And like you can't lay on your side or your stomach or anything. Like you're just like in a sling, just so miserable. And I think, you know, I had to take Percocet for 3 months just to deal with the pain. And then I know this is such a long story to get back to DJ, but like eventually got my surgery. They had to like give me a cadaver tendon and like cut off part of that bone, drill 2 holes through it, and then take a cadaver tendon and tie it down since all the ligaments were broken. And it was too risky to like try to reconnect the ligaments without risking like rupturing a blood vessel, I guess. Doctor didn't recommend it. I guess technically we could have tried it if I gave him the okay and insisted, but I was like, nah, it's okay. So, yeah, I got my surgery and excuse me, it was like a 3 months of like just healing before I could even really do anything. So, you know, I was like taking Percocet every day. I basically had to. I mean, maybe some people have stronger pain tolerance than I do, but it was the most pain. Like I remember I didn't take my pain pills like the night before I went to sleep. I think it was like the first night after surgery or the second maybe, because I'd been feeling okay from taking the pain pills throughout the day. So I was like, I'll be okay when I wake up. Like I'll just take one in the morning. I woke up in the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my life. Like far worse than the pain of like actually crashing. Like when I crashed, it was painful, but it was like shocking. I think I was just in shock.
Oh
like,
yeah, your adrenaline.
Like
I
didn't even
the pain.
I didn't even really feel like that much pain when it happened. I was just like, wow, that happened, you know? Like I was just shook from that. But I woke up and it was just excruciating pain. Like it was horrible. But I you know, eventually was healing up and time had passed and things were improving a little bit. And like I had just gotten out of a relationship as well. So like, you know, I was home alone a lot. And also my cat, Gary, shout out Gary. I fucking miss you, dude. You were the best cat. He went missing like right before Christmas time, December that year. So like I didn't have my cat anymore. My ex-girlfriend who I'd been with for a while wasn't around. Like it was pretty miserable time in my life. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I should get a new cat. And I got this one. And she was a little godsend for me. So, but like that was such a, like, I just got so off topic, so I apologize. But like when I was talking about how she like lays up here when we're on the couch and like she's always on the couch when we're up here. And when I was still recovering from surgery, like, and had just gotten her, and she was like a little tiny kitten. Like she was maybe, she was so small. She was maybe like you know, that big or something like that. Little burger could just eat her. She used to, I don't know if it was this couch. It probably was this couch actually, because this one does this. Check it out. Oh, Deej.
Don't.
So I think I was using this one because the other one would have been way harder to get up and in and out of. Like, it's honestly so crazy. Like, when I had surgery, and after having surgery, like, I realized more how all there's like so many little muscles in your body that you just don't even think about when your body is working normally. But when you have a big injury like that, like literally just sitting up, just doing this, like that, with that, even that range of motion, like just doing that, like I couldn't do because it was so painful. Because like you have to use, like there's little muscles in your shoulder, your back, your chest, like everywhere that like connect, that like just doing the simplest little things were just like, wow, this is like, it was shocking, like how much that affected my ability to do things. And but I was like relaxing on this couch a lot at the time, just watching a ton of like movies. Watched some Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee, shout out. Just a lot of shout outs this episode. But she would lay in this little, when you fully recline it, there's like a little section that she can lay on, or that she would lay on, and she fit like perfectly there. But now she's too big, so she doesn't lay there anymore. But it was the cutest thing ever. Like I would lay here, and she it was actually on that one, but she would lay in that little section like every day. Like it was nice to have her company for sure.
She loves being around us, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I know I just talked like for a while, so I don't know if that was like excessive, but.
Do you see Gingy
Where's Gingy at?
under there?
Oh, I wish you guys could see her. She's hiding under. Can you even see that chair on? I don't think you can even see that chair on these cameras. We have a chair off camera right here that Orange Cat is under.
She's our wild cat. We've seen her do some pretty hilarious stuff.
She honestly is maybe the funniest cat I've ever met in my life. She's so funny.
She's pretty hilarious.
When I first got her, like shortly after I got her, I got both of them like not long after the other. I got her Gingy like 2 months after DJ.
Shout out Josh.
Shout
Thank
out
you.
Josh. Yeah, Josh, I hope you come back on for another podcast sometime. Josh and I have done like 3 episodes. He was my first episode, my second episode, and then my first episode of the new setup the second time around. This is our third time around. I tried to have him out for the first episode of this one, but scheduling just didn't work out. But the door is always open for you, Josh, if you ever want to come back on. But yeah, Josh gave me Gingy, and she's awesome. And thank you, Josh.
Gingy brings a lot of humor into our lives and a lot of light. She's great.
So talkative too. Like she is the most talkative cat I've definitely the most talkative cat I've ever met. But yeah, she had like a viral TikTok video shortly after I got her. Got like 4 million views of her just like jumping to a metronome, because she was like, every single time it would tick, she was like the Captain Hook and the crocodile.
Yeah.
And
the
Peter Pan.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
She's still like that. She's so like sensitive to noise. She does a cartoon run when she gets scared.
Yeah, she's like the Flintstones where they like run
Like,
before they actually move.
And then it's like,
When she's on like the tile floor and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
She also likes to slide her butt across the carpet a lot, which isn't really something I should probably put out there.
It's so bad.
I wish she wouldn't do it personally. It's not like I'm a fan of her doing it, but it is hilarious.
It is.
It's
pretty
disgusting and hilarious at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's like, at least it balances out a little bit.
funny. Yeah. We also have a third cat, Lupin, but
Mm-hmm.
she's nowhere to be found at the moment. She's kind of an
Yeah.
enigma.
Lupin is a creature of the darkness. She's like Bane.
Yeah, she's like a really.
We should get
Yeah.
that sample, actually. Like, I was born in it.
Yeah, that's
I was
Lupin.
born in the darkness. Yeah.
She's like not quite gray and not quite black. She's like a really deep
Yeah,
charcoal
I call
color.
her. Yeah, she's charcoal with like a little tiny white patch right on
Yeah.
her. Is that your sternum?
Yeah. She used to be so afraid of
I used to
Kevin
think
when
that
we
was your
first
clavicle.
moved in.
I used to call this my clavicle all the time. And then I got in a wreck, and I was like, oh, this is my clavicle. That's how I learned. She used to be afraid of me, you said?
Mm-hmm. But then now the two of them are like the bestest friends you'll ever see.
She's definitely like a star-crossed lover.
Yeah, they're like freaking soulmates.
Yeah, it does feel like it sometimes, the way she looks into my eyes.
Seriously, it's so rude.
So rude.
Yeah.
You should be happy.
I am happy, but I'm her mom.
It's not like an intimate relationship. It's just platonic.
I know, I'm
Does
just
that make sense?
jealous. I want her to look at me the way that she looks at you.
I'm sure she does.
I raised her.
Yeah. But I'm the cat whisperer, so.
Yeah. She's a very sweet girl. I think
She is so
she's
sweet.
like,
She's awesome.
she's probably the most like lovey of the three of them.
I mean, they're all like in their own way though, because like DJ's the most that like the cat that comes around the most when you're on a couch or in bed and stuff like that. But like Lupin's the best one to hold, and Lupin is the best one to, well, Gingy does this too, but Lupin, like, she always wants you to pet her, or not always, but she's pretty good about it. And
Yeah.
she's very like affectionate when you're petting her, versus DJ, who's like, don't touch me, bitch.
Well,
And then Gingy is very like, she loves being pet,
she loves
but she
being
won't be
pet.
held. She like, I've held her a
Will
few
not.
times. When I first got her, she was a little bit better about it. Somehow she got worse, and I really want to figure out a way to train her to let me hold her, because she's so great.
Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions on how to let a cat like let you pick them up or whatever.
Yeah, I was
don't
gonna
think
say
said
that. Like, if
right,
anybody
but,
in the
like,
comments has any ideas, what I've been thinking for a while, and I've not really put this to the test to the extent that I'd like to, but I want to just get like 7 layers of clothing on, like just a bunch of crew neck sweaters and stuff like that, and then just hold her and not have to risk getting the shit scratched out of me, because that's what'll happen usually. She just has so much anxiety.
she
And
freaks
I think
out.
it's like a control thing where she just feels like out of control if you're holding her, because she loves being pet. She's so affectionate, and like
Yeah.
Nick just said he was even petting her. Like, out of the 3 cats, I don't know, she's like weirdly like the most antisocial too, though, in some ways.
Well,
like,
'cause
when
she
new
has
people
such
come over,
anxi-
'cause
such
of her
high
an-
anxiety.
Yeah, because like she used to not be so bad. I think when she was younger she was better, but I think it's also because I was injured for so long and I wasn't having a lot of people come over, so she was kind of just used to me, and I was like, I wasn't working as much, you know. I was very like, I was on pain pills and shit, so I was just pretty fucking laid back. And yeah, I was spending like a ton of time with these cats, and it was awesome. But I think now that I've gotten busier again and there's a lot more commotion around the house, like I think that kind of just like gave her a lot of anxiety. But yeah, I wish I tried to hold her more when she was younger, because I feel like if I had, that she probably would be better about it.
I think that's why Lupin's so good about being held,
Yeah.
because I like never put her down
Yeah.
when she was a kitten.
Yeah, I've heard you say that before, that you held her a ton as a kitten. And
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, like there were times when I first got Gingy where I held her and she'd let me, and
Mhm.
I miss it. I get like kind of sad sometimes, because it's like you'll hold Lupin and she's cool with it, and DJ like will let you hold her. Sometimes she doesn't want it to be held, but she'll tolerate it, and she never like scratches you. But Gingy's just like so paranoid about being held. I don't really understand like what she's so afraid of, because she sees us hold the other cats all the time, and like sometimes I'll hold Lupin and she'll get
Like jealous almost.
yeah, she'll start meowing at me and like come
Mhm.
up and like want attention. It's like, well, if you let me hold you, maybe
When-
you could have the attention right now.
Oh, look at Teach.
I know.
When Lupin
cute.
was a kitten, I used to put her like inside of my sweatshirt all the time and hold her on my stomach.
Mhm.
So now that she's older, she likes sweatshirt time.
Yeah, I know, it's so cool. I don't have a cat that does that.
I like put her in my sweatshirt and she'll poke her head out of the top and just like ride around. Yeah, I do it kind of often.
Yeah, yeah, she's pretty great.
Just all of the cats are great. I love having cats.
Did you ever pull up that Pulp Fiction scene? Can you preview that? That's not something that would get our video like taken down, is it? I don't think it would. Okay. Yeah, I think Because, I mean, well, it's on YouTube to begin with, so obviously I guess it wouldn't get taken down because it's inappropriate, but maybe it would get claimed because it's not, like, our property. But I feel like you can do that, though, because, like, reaction videos, like, the rules on that mean that you can, I think. Is this on the screen now? I was just wondering because we could hear the audio and it was kind of like hard to focus on our conversation. If I know you're just like reviewing it, but yeah, Morgan had to save a life the other day. Not even exaggerating. Pretty wild to talk about or to fathom. But like, yeah, she was around someone who had a heart attack and went into cardiac arrest, I guess. And I think that you told me that they had a heartbeat of like 200 beats per minute.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
For how long? Like it stayed that high for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, like a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It's pretty high. But yeah, thankfully I have my ACLS, or Advanced Cardiac Life Support for those who don't know. And I mean, I've worked in healthcare since I was a sophomore in high school and like started off as a pre-med major, so I feel pretty comfortable knowing what to do.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, thank God you were there, because if you weren't, she might have died, you know?
Possibly. But
All in a day's work.
all in a day's work. I don't know. I think sometimes I'm sure other people who work in medicine can relate to this, but you kind of get like numb to it is maybe
like
a good way of saying
desensitized
it.
or
Yeah, desensitized. Like I don't really think twice about that, or
Yeah.
it wasn't really like a big deal just because you see so much stuff and like, you know, people in the hospital when you're working have heart attacks, stop breathing, like.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
especially if you work around like trauma stuff,
Yeah.
which, I mean, you haven't really done a lot of, right?
I worked in the emergency room when I was in high school. That was the first rotations that I ever did.
Were you working there like through the high school, or was that just a job you had like picked up
No, I was working as a medical assistant.
like through a school thing?
Like I got my certification through school, and then like they placed me.
Were you in, what grade were you? Like sophomore? Junior?
My senior year.
Okay. I was going to say, like, that sounds like stuff that you could probably do it, because I went to Diamond Oaks, which is like a trade school, and it sounds kind of like, you know, they had like a nurse program or like some sort of medical type of thing. And they had a lot, like, it was like a trade school, so a lot of the people who were doing the trades would go out on like internships or co-ops. Was it like that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, similar to that. Like I could earn class credits for hours.
Hey,
So like
Lupin.
you would see, oh, there's Lupin.
Lupin. Hey, friend.
You know, you see all kinds of crazy stuff in the ER. Plus, working at Planned Parenthood, I had my fair share of medical emergencies. You know, sometimes surgery doesn't always go as planned, and people bleed a lot. So.
Yeah, sometimes people shit a lot too, I've heard.
Oh my God, literal worst day.
Morgan told me the most crazy story about working there one time.
It was horrendous.
So disgusting.
And
So
Jocelyn,
I don't know how much we should talk about it in detail, but like it was foul.
Jocelyn, if you ever watch this, just know
You deserve better.
you took one for the team, and you did not deserve that at all. That was horrendous.
If you guys are wondering why this is here, this giant curtain, we have been planning on getting some.
Aw, poor Gingy.
Sorry, Ginge.
And this is why Gingy has anxiety.
She's just sneaking out to look at it now. She's like, "Ooh, what's that?" Gingy. But yeah, we got some curtains. We're gonna do a little bit of redecorating and maybe make a cool little intro that our producer Nick brainstormed with me. It was the part of it was his idea, but like, yeah, I'm looking forward to bringing that to life with you. I think that'll be fun. Okay. We don't have to play it. Nick was just explaining that the scene from Pulp Fiction that we're wanting to play is like, you're saying it's like skipping a little bit or something? It's like buffering? Yeah, it's not playing smoothly. So he's trying to play it in OBS, which is like the software we use for the podcast, and for some reason it's not playing smoothly. Are there other broadcast softwares? I do too. Hold on. We could probably. How long have we been going? Okay. I mean, we could wrap it up.
All right, let's wrap.
Okay. I was just asking Nick about different podcast software. So like we're going to dial this in to those of you watching, for those of you who care. We hope you stick around. We hope you subscribe. We hope you hit the like button, leave a comment, share with your friends, your family, your neighbor.
Yeah. Tell us
we
what
hope
you think.
if you need some custom apparel, that you get custom apparel. I'm working on the tagline, so bear with me. But yeah, we'll have a website up for that at some point. But if you do want to order, you can reach me via email at kevin@getcustomapparel.com or on Instagram at getcustomapparel. And sooner or later, we're going to introduce some sauces on here. My friend makes some hot sauces. I know. Okay, one last thing. We're watching the Jake Paul fight this weekend, tomorrow.
We're also having date night.
Date night and the Jake Paul fight is part of our date night. I know to some people that's probably like the worst sounding date night. They're like, oh my God, they're watching the Jake Paul fight. But
Shout
to
out
those of
Nate
you who
Diaz.
think that, screw you. No,
I'm
I don't
Team
really care.
Diaz.
Yeah, I would like to see Nate win too. I just wanted to end the podcast. We both have to use the bathroom, so we'll wrap it up here. But like, yeah, who do you want Nate to win?
Fuck yeah.
Do you think Nate's gonna win?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to bet money on it,
Yeah, I would bet money on Nate.
I'll bet you $20 Jake wins.
I think he's gonna fuck Jake up.
I hope he does, but I'm willing to lose $20.
All right.
Nick said he wants Nate to win. I mean, I think
For
the vast
sure.
majority of people want Nate to win. He's way more likable.
I think he's going to win.
For the record, Nick said he's like, yeah, I've always hated Jake Paul. I've watched a lot of Jake. I'm basically a Jake Paul.
I just think that money can only buy so much,
kidding.
and Nate has worked
But I guess-
hard
I mean,
to be where he's at. So
I'm like a YouTube historian,
you really are.
That was another one we were talking about. We were talking about having a segment on the podcast called like YouTube historian, or maybe that'll be like a commentary series.
I'm leaving while he gets sidetracked because I have to use the restroom.
Well, I'll just end it with you here too. Say what? God damn it! What are you suggesting? No, it's too late now. You gotta tell us what you. Tell them we're sorry that we're abruptly.
Yes, I'm sorry to
ending.
cut it short.
Oh yeah, I'm being told by the higher ups that I should apologize for abruptly ending the podcast. But it's all right because go to the middle camera. It's the All Right Show. Bow, 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 bow. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share, or don't. But either way, if you do, thanks. And
we'll see you next time.
see you next time. All
On
right.
the All Right
On
Show.
the All Right Show.
Bye.
Bye.